A weekend of woe in the city. 3 cruel murders, including one at the height of the Saturday rush on Albert Street. And in another case, a 17-year-old would have sat his final exams today, but instead, his family is preparing to bury him tonight. Also, a warehouse manager was accused of stealing 43 computers from the Ministry of Education. Tonight, Esbert Ramklam tells us how he got off. And a Trinidadian visitor to Belize reported missing in Belize, but it turns out he was in jail. You'll hear why. Also, did deforestation cause all that flooding we saw last week? We'll ask the experts. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight, Monday, June 15th, 2026. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
The biggest soccer season is here. Are you ready to experience the front row from home? Experience stadium level immersion with Samsung's latest technology. Perfect for every room. Your favorite Crystal UHD and QLED smart TVs are ready for you. Now at the best price. From your 32-inch personal fan zone at just $369 to the massive 85-inch home stadium experience for only $2,579. We have the perfect upgrade for every fan. Get yours with confidence at Cellular World, the authorized distributor in Belize, and receive a 1-year warranty. Visit us today and take advantage of these promotions. Valid until June 15th. Upgrade to the front row at home. Experience with Samsung and Cellular World.
He skipped nights out. Said maybe next time too often. Ramen became a lifestyle. All for this moment, his first car. Protect what you've worked for with RF&G Motor Insurance.
I have had several injuries, and usually I don't go to the hospital. I go to the private, and I don't want to see what that is kind of high. I slice here. For this, it's 1,200 just for the first time to clean it and to stitch it. Then every day for the first week, it's dressing. It's $300. Just for that particular week, I paid $2,700. I'm a diabetic patient as well. The different medications that you have to buy, so that makes it triple challenge, I would say. Now in NHI, I get my medication free. The financial aspect is very important. Consider that it does help a lot.
At Habet and Brothers Habet. Celebrate your super handy dad with gifts he'll actually use and enjoy super savings all June. Like 15% off all power tools and Stanley hand tools, 20% off Vento PVC windows, 20% off Ascot porcelain tiles and 30% off Piso Forte ceramic tiles, and 40% off Sunlight windows and doors. Plus, stop in at Brothers Habet every Saturday for our veranda clearance blowout. And for every $50 you spend, get a chance to win a power tool every Saturday. Visit Habet and Brothers Habet today and give Dad something worthy of his super handiness. Happy Father's Day to all super handy dads. You're up.
These charter remains aren't from
We're
an
navigating along the coastline.
This morning, the 2023.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Shireen Halsell,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm Indra Craig.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing hereby advises the public of the commencement of works for temporary bridge crossings at 2 locations in Belize City. The first temporary bridge crossing is being constructed near the Belcan Bridge, extending between the Belize Water Services Limited (BWSL) parking lot on the south side and the vacant lot adjacent to the Save You store on the north side. Construction of a second temporary bridge crossing near the Swing Bridge between the Bottom Dollar parking area and Regent Street West is scheduled to commence during the week of May 18, 2026. Works at both locations generally include driving of foundation piles, placement of bridge girders, construction of reinforced concrete deck structures, associated marine and support works. To facilitate construction activities, barges and other marine equipment may be positioned within the Haulover Creek and may remain in place until work is completed. The temporary bridge structures are being constructed to maintain public access and traffic circulation during the planned reconstruction of the Swing Bridge and Belcan Bridge later this year. MIDH advises all mariners and users of the Haulover Creek that active construction zones will be in effect at both locations. As such, all marine vessels are hereby advised that a no-wake zone will be enforced for approximately 200 feet on either side of each construction area. Operators of marine vessels and all users of the Haulover Creek are asked to exercise caution when navigating through work zones, observe all posted signage and safety instructions, reduce speed and comply with no-wake restrictions, remain attentive to construction personnel and equipment, extend courtesy and cooperation with workers on site. The Ministry thanks the public and the maritime community for their patience, understanding, and cooperation as we work to modernize and improve the nation's infrastructure. For further information on the project, please contact the Project Execution Unit at 614-3195.
Cada conexión es más que solo una señal, es un estudiante abriendo las puertas a su futuro a través de la educación digital. Una mente joven atreviéndose a soñar en grande. Nuestra cultura compartida con el mundo en tiempo real. Y héroes cotidianos respondiendo al llamado del deber cívico. Cuando nos conectamos con Digi, empoderamos a Belice.
I've always been fascinated with gemstones. It's all about taking nature's beauty and creating something uniquely beautiful. I've had inspiration from the Belize Blue Bull, the beaches, the jaguar. I've launched a new product called Co-Design with Deb, and Atlantic Bank's e-commerce system has opened the door to my international customers so I can receive payments so they can have their custom pieces shipped to them.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
They're not just cigarette, vape, hookah, cigar, and all kind of tobacco product, Lego, dangerous smoke, and toxic chemical. When you smoke or vape, that cloud then not disappear. It turn into second-hand smoke and third-hand smoke where people wrong your breathing. That kind of smoke that could cause cancer, diabetes, lungs disease, or heart problems. It could kill anybody who get exposed to it. If you smoke or vape, go outside, far from people. Everybody deserves to breathe clean air.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Tonight, police are on high alert as gang tensions soar following a lawless daylight murder. The brazen killing shattered the peace of the Saturday morning rush hour on Albert Street, unfolding in front of a crowded strip of pedestrians and traffic. The victim, a 29-year-old father of three and a public officer who was also the son of one of the city's most legendary gang figures, the now deceased George Junie Balls Mackenzie. Jaleesa Roberts reports.
On Saturday morning, in the middle of the Albert Street rush, Kiefer Mackenzie was targeted and killed in his vehicle with his 2 children in the back seat. It was his daughter's birthday, and he was on the way to take her to get her hair braided when he was targeted by a brazen gunman on a motorcycle. It happened here at the corner of Albert and Orange Street, where Mackenzie was driving this blue Jeep Cherokee when a gunman pulled up and opened fire, hitting him multiple times and grazing his daughter. He accelerated towards Albert Street to escape, but he was injured too badly, and here at the corner of Bishop Street, he crashed into a parked car and came to a stop. Panic ensued in the downtown as shoppers heard shots ringing out.
The investigation commenced on Saturday, 13th June at approximately 10 o'clock a.m. when officers on patrol were alerted to the sounds of shots being fired on Albert Street in Belize City. The officers proceeded to the direction where they observed a blue SUV which had collided into a parked car and an injured Mr. Mackenzie with apparent gunshot wounds. A review of the camera system at the Fusion Center showed that Mackenzie had parked at the corner of Albert and Orange Street when a male person who wore a face covering helmet came off a motorcycle and approached the vehicle and fired several shots, which resulted in the eventual fatal demise of Mackenzie. Through the use of the technology at the Crime Fusion Center, the investigators were able to trace what we believe to be the motorcycle that was utilized in the incident, as well as the helmet shortly after the incident occurred. These items were processed by scenes of crime technicians who were able to lift fingerprints from both the motorcycle and the helmet, and they have also secured the helmet with a view to conducting further processing for DNA purposes.
His mother has now lost her only surviving son. In August of 2007, her husband, legendary gang leader George Junie Balls Mackenzie, and then in August of 2016, her older son, George Mackenzie Jr., was murdered. And now, 10 years later, her last surviving son was murdered.
George Junie Balls Mackenzie was regarded with the type of awe usually only reserved for political leaders. But tonight, 33-year-old George Junie Balls Mackenzie, former leader of the Ghost Town Crips, is dead. Junie Balls was killed last night in an execution-style murder near his home in Pinks Alley.
Mackenzie Jr. was stabbed to death early Sunday morning at a soca concert at the IT Vet. According to Mackenzie's family, he was with his girlfriend, his brother, and his sister-in-law. They were all enjoying the soca vibes when 2 men went up to Mackenzie and his crew, wanting to start a fight. The girls tried to make peace between the men and the guys left, only to return a couple minutes later to stab Mackenzie from behind as he was dancing with his girlfriend.
And trying to break the cycle of violence, the mother tried her best to get all her sons educated and away from a life where they were at risk. Kiefer had just finished his associates and was set to start his bachelor's in August. He was a father of 3 and a valued employee at the immigration department. When we spoke with one of his relatives off camera, she said that he always took care of his people, but the reputation of his father always found a way to precede him.
I'm a hard-working youth, work hard for the picnic family. I gaily son, I gaily daughter. I gaily niece, so I take care of 5 dead. Papa, he brother dead, he was a big brother. And I take over the father for the job the niece. I take care of the and the man, he give people work wrong out for doing. When not go on and the thing there, you always depend on him to make something happen for you, you get it sense. And I have no problem, somewhere like how some people paint the man. Where you come from, the label yards. You get it sense, you just because you come out of our hood. You come out of Majestic, so that's how people paint you because you're the our hood. You know, although you know the carry out their bad measures there, they don't know a lot of simpleness that people do. Like what I say, young boy, I take care of everybody. When he eat, we eat. You know? So that's just where he come from.
Youth Program Coordinator Douglas Hyde knew Kiefer and his entire family and remembers him as a natural leader who wanted change.
He was this passionate, positive youth who wanted better. He didn't want that kind of life. And many times he told me that this is not the life I want. I don't want being on my pathful step. All of my life I wanted to do things different and better. And I knew he was passionate about that he wanted to change his life and to do better. So when Kiefer graduated from sixth form and he actually got that job from immigration department, man, he was one of the most happiest dude I could ever recall. I went to his workplace a couple times to talk to him, to visit with him. And he's all excited to tell away in the land and how things may happen and go on with his life and stuff like that. And I know in his past, he worked very closely with me in the William Dawson Peace Cup and the William Dawson Sprite basketball tournaments. He was very instrumental in bringing these guys together from Majestic Alley to want to participate and compete in these competitions. I wanted to bring him on as a program coordinator to help assist when it comes to programs in the LIU, because Kiefer has a influentialness about him that he can bring some of these guys from the different communities together, but also to look at how we can utilize persons like him to be part of the LIU better than what we have been doing for the past couple of years.
Despite all the efforts to ensure he did not meet the same fate as his father and his brother, on Saturday the grip of gang violence found him, and in the most graphic way, killed in front of his children on Belize's main street. Jaleesa Roberts, 7 News.
Police have since detained one person of interest in relation to the shooting. His employer, the Ministry of Immigration, has released a statement saying, quote, Kiefer's commitment to public service, his professionalism and his presence within our ministry family will be remembered with respect and gratitude. And while that was the first murder of the weekend, the last happened on Sunday night and it was equally devastating. Today, a 17-year-old would have sat his final exams, but now his family is preparing to bury him after he was gunned down in front of his mother inside their home. Jo Marie Lanza spoke to the grieving mother of Derek Morris and also visited his school this morning. Here's what she learned about the teenager from his loved ones and his peers.
They were about to sit down for a meal when everything happened right here at their home on Crown Street. 17-year-old Derek Morris was gunned down right before his mother's eyes. And when we spoke with her today, she was still unable to process how she lost her youngest child in the split of a second.
We not hear talk about because the dog know the person there. You know dog back with anybody part or anybody thing. Yeah, so he peep, but he open the door, leap. Then when they open the door, then the person in the right corner to the thing, and I think open the door, he get fighting. You don't know which way for one, because the two body hard open the door and they run inside, but he try to get away. But this way that one way in and one way out. Then when he reach the other part, right there, they run in and they fire to that.
So everything.
Yes, I fight and I can't move. Because I'm one if I me them want aim thing too. So I fight and I last. I can't wait to get my breath. For I see that my baby get dead with one time.
Westby says that she believes her son was targeted because of a bicycle feud, something that they had taunted her son with for months.
They made it to father up on a bike, but the bike of a last year when a thief me he bike, but he left that alone. Got on the material thing. You have to get back one bike. I went to what? But the lead by the I with the parts he and the net brother. I with the parts and certainly they throw it at them and then tell them what for I guess then what for I did. But the liba tired because the liba not the bad then. The liba go aku come home. Then they will teen there. Only me I here there.
And like Westby said, when Derek wasn't home, he was at school. And today he would have taken his final exams here at Sadie Vernon Technical High School. They placed a candle and a picture of him on his chair this morning.
So for them to come to class this morning in a mindset to complete their exams, they were very, very saddened by that information or that news. We had to have our school counselor go in the class and do a session, a brief and last session for a short period of time before they moved into their exam. And we still have a few of them who are expressing, the hurt that they felt from such a news or such a loss. Actually, this is the third student for this school year that we have lost. Yeah, we have lost 3. One due to illness. The second one, he was knocked down. And now we have the third, Derek, who was shot last night. So this year has been rough because besides 3 students, we had a board member that we lost and a cafeteria cook. So in all, it's 5 people we have lost during this school year. So we take it day by day. It's certainly a shock. And words cannot express the loss. We're walking around just having to accept these things that occur that we have absolutely no control over.
And it's a loss that hit particularly hard at this school. We asked Martin and a few of Derek's classmates what they will remember the most about him at school.
He was short in stature, but big in personality. So I've seen him a couple times, in my office because, he had a little personality on him. However, he loved to play football and he was working hard on being promoted to 4th form. So last week I remember clearly when I visited the different classrooms that he was in, the teacher is saying to the other students, you all need to work as hard as Derek to get into 4th form. And so when I heard the news last night, it was really, 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 really sad.
Will you want to remember Derek? How you want people to remember?
By his laughter, his sharpness, how playful he was. He was never a mean person to anyone. And even if he never liked you, he may still be your friend, talk to you, mess with you always.
What's a memory that you have with him?
Playing with football. Football was the most memory I know. Because he loved to play football.
And for Derek's mother, the loss of her youngest child is incomprehensible for her after he had just turned 17 less than a week ago.
My mind not there with me right now. Too late. Really not know what to say. Yeah, I'm a kind person, mess with nobody. But then I went to take a bad person, but a bad person. I pray that gets there. I pray that I don't pray to the cool lad. That's all I pray for. Don't get there. Don't lock them up. Don't lock them up. I'm in a pain right now. I don't pray that they get there.
You say you make close to yourself?
Yes, God, my baby. The birthday took on Wednesday. It done the 17 right here. And then at the turn 17, I will take away your life. For what? One bike? Half a million, one bike.
Jo Marie Lanza, 7 News.
ASP Stacey Smith later confirmed this afternoon that the motive for the murder was over a bicycle based on what they have learned from their investigations.
Following the review of video footage at the Crime Fusion Center, police have detained 1 male person in connection with the shooting incident that resulted in the murder of 17-year-old Derek Dennis Morris of Belize City, which occurred on Sunday, 14 June 2026 at around 10:35 p.m. What we have learned so far is that Morris was at his residence on Crown Street when two persons went to that residence and one of them called out for an occupant of the house. And when the young Mr. Morris opened the door, he was met with gunfire. As it relates to motives, so far the indication is that this is a consequence of a dispute over a bicycle involving the minor and the detained suspect, who is also a minor, well, somebody that is 18 years old.
And in another area of the city, a man was killed, and it might just have been that he wore the wrong color clothing in the wrong neighborhood. Call center employee Eric Nelson had on a red shirt as he rode his motorcycle on Lakeview Street on Saturday night, hours after they had killed Kiefer McKenzie, who was a Crip loyal to the color blue. And Nelson, even though he was not gang affiliated, his red shirt triggered a gunman to open fire on him. He was seriously injured and died hours later. It's a totally senseless murder, and police are working to detain suspects. ASP Smith confirmed that the victim is not known to police for any gang affiliations.
Police are investigating the murder of 25-year-old Eric Nelson, which occurred on Saturday, 13 June 2026 at 6:58 p.m. The investigation commenced when officers responded to reports of a shooting incident on Lakeview Street, Belize City, where upon their arrival, they observed a gravely injured Eric Nelson, who was suffering from a gunshot injury. What we have learned so far is that Nelson was in the company of another person walking on Lakeview Street when a male person emerged from behind a fence and fired a single shot, resulting in Mr. Nelson's untimely demise. We have not been able to establish a motive at this time, and we can confirm that Mr. Nelson is not known to police. However, we are pursuing the angle, given the circumstances at hand, that this incident may be as a consequence of heightened tensions with the passing of Mr. McKenzie. And there may have been some misapprehension on the part of the shooter that Mr. Nelson was an enemy within their territory. Police investigation continues. However, we are reviewing it from the aspect that there was heightened tensions with the passing of Mr. McKenzie, and we know that Lakeview Street area is affiliated with the Majestic Alley, and as I said, there may have been some misapprehension.
And out in Keokuk, police are investigating another fatal incident, one they have classified as a death investigation and not a murder. ASP Smith explained why and what they have come to learn about the deceased.
Police are seeking one male person in connection with an investigation into the death of 45-year-old Oscar Henaro Flota of Kikaka, which occurred at around 8:25 p.m. on Saturday, 13 June 2026. What has been learned thus far in the course of this investigation is that Mr. Flota was in a group of several male persons socializing when an argument and a physical confrontation ensued, during which time Mr. Flota was struck to the head with a shovel. He was transported for medical attention. However, he subsequently passed. At this point, it is a death investigation because for murder, there has to be an intent to kill and an absence of someone acting in self-defense. The indication that we have received so far from the statements that are on file is suggest that there was a physical altercation. If the investigation shows that the force used was excessive or there was an intention to kill, it will progress to that. But however, where we are now in relation to the statements that we have was that there was a physical altercation between the deceased and the person who is being sought. And so that is the status as of now.
ASP Smith also confirmed that the group had been drinking. We'll take a break now. When we come back, a Trinidadian visitor reported missing in Belize, but it turns out he was in jail. You'll hear why. And a warehouse manager was accused of stealing 43 computers from the Ministry of Education. Tonight, Esbert Ramclam tells us how he got off. Don't go away.
Benny's is kicking off Father's Day with popping deals for dad. In the month of June, visit a Benny's store near you and get store-wide discounts on select items such as Milwaukee and Axie power tools, Charbroil barbecue grills, car care products, Karcher pressure washers, Sankey smart TVs, gym equipment, and much, much more. Make dad happy with popping deals for dad in June, only at Benny's.
The biggest football event in the world is finally here, and Smart is giving you the chance to play and win. Before every match starts, predict who will win. The more predictions you make, the more chances you have to win. Get 1 point towards your total when you guess the winning team. Predict the exact score and earn up to 4 points. The top scorer at the conclusion of the World Cup wins the grand prize of $2,500 in cash. That's not all. Players get a chance to win weekly prizes. Plus, our quarter-final winner gets a watch party package. Play directly in the Smart app for just 50 cents per entry. Prediction starts June 1st to July 18, 2026. Don't just watch the World Cup. Play along and win with Smart. Smart, bringing people together.
I'm getting older and I need more medical attention, and this is perfect for me, because previous to that, I only went to the hospital if I had an emergency. I had a brother-in-law, and he was not feeling too good. And he said he went to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, you need to get a good checkup. And he said, but I need to work and make some money so I can address this issue. It happened that we were working by Santana, and he got worse. I had to come to New York. The next morning, Carlos, they took him to Belize. Before the day was up, he was dead. His pressure skyrocketed, and he couldn't be helped. He passed away. And that has repeated itself many times, simply because we didn't have what we have now. It's something very good for me. We've never had it before. And I see a lot of people participate. They come and they are grateful, just like myself, that this service is available.
The next station is not just a place, it's the vacation capital of the world, the Mexican Caribbean. Do you know why we are the capital of vacations? Because no other place on Earth brings together so many ways to vacation in one single destination. From rest to adventure. From nature to culture. From luxury to freedom. Every vacation imaginable, except snow and we plan to keep it that way. Mexican Caribbean, the vacation capital.
People don't travel with cash anymore. People would stop and they want to do a coffee tour, they want to buy coffee, but people don't have cash with them. Online banking facilitated a lot of what we do. I don't have to run to town and I have to use fuel and other expenses. Atlantic Bank actually approached us. They facilitated us with a bank account, which is something that we didn't have in hand, and then with a POS machine. I sit and sip my good cup of coffee and do payments.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
The roads of Belize connect us all. Riders, drivers, families, friends. Every day begins with a little routine and the confidence that life's journeys are protected. From school drop-off through the daily grind and everything in between, each with different roads ahead, yet one common goal: to arrive safely. Atlantic Insurance stands with Belize's riders and motorists with affordable protection, support, and peace of mind for the journey ahead. For the roads we share and the lives we protect, Atlantic Insurance is by your side, insuring you from life's unexpected. Atlantic Insurance, insuring you from life's unexpected.
Welcome to the V Department Store. We are conveniently located on Coney Drive in Belize City. That's right on Coney Drive in Belize City. At the V Department Store, we offer a wide variety of groceries, cosmetics, kitchen appliances, kitchenware, electronics, and more. We've also recently expanded to the second floor to better meet your household and office furniture needs. We now have a wide variety of furniture, home decor, and accessories. We have a shared vision for a comfortable and customer-friendly shopping experience. Visit us today and be warmly greeted by our reasonable prices and cordial staff. The V Department Store. Experience the ultimate shopping destination.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Former government warehouse manager Esbert Ramclam is free of theft charges after the case against him was dismissed in the Belize City Magistrates Court today. Ramclam appeared unrepresented before a senior magistrate where the matter had been scheduled to proceed to trial. However, the virtual complainant, which is the government of Belize, failed to appear in court, prompting the magistrate to dismiss the charge and discharge Ramclam. The 45-year-old had been charged in April of 2025 with the theft of 43 Lenovo Chromebook laptops belonging to the government of Belize. The laptops were reportedly valued at $787.50 each, for a total value of $33,000. According to the allegations, between February 18th and February 28th of 2025, Ramklam stole the laptops from a storage facility located at the government bookstore compound on St. Joseph Street in Belize City. Outside the courthouse following the dismissal, Ramklam maintained his innocence, stating that investigators never had evidence against him and that he was charged only because his name had been mentioned during the investigation.
They have to dash out the case because they don't have no evidence for me that somebody can call me name for something I never do.
All right, so tell me, how a year ago, this was an allegation made against you?
A year and a half.
Okay, and what are you going to press charges, sue the government, what?
Well, I don't know what happened because they got me to the work for a year and a half and I need to start make back some money now, so I don't know what happened.
So you lost your job over this?
Yeah, I never made the work.
They fire you?
They never fire me, but I need misunderstanding and I never make what I work. But now, I win my case and they don't have no evidence for me. Then I tell me something I never do.
Are you going to ask back for a job?
Not really, but I don't know what happened after this. But something will happen. Something will happen.
He was a cop convicted of killing 14-year-old Laddie Gillett in Placencia and sentenced to 18 years in jail for it. And now the Court of Appeal has upheld that Supreme Court decision. Kareem Martinez's attorney Brian Neal appealed, saying his client did not fire the fatal shot that killed the deceased. He only fired a warning shot in the air, and another police officer shot the deceased. He claimed that the trial judge, quote, misdirected herself by placing the evidential burden of proof on the appellant and treated his admission of the firing in the air as conclusive of his guilt. In his decision, the panel of judges called that an unfair and baseless criticism. The three judges in their deliberations sided with Assistant DPP Javier Chan and Crown Counsel Maria Nemhard Santana when they found that the trial judge's decision was sound and concluded that the ground of appeal had no merit. With that, the appeal was dismissed. He was accused of murder, but Doratian Salam has been sentenced to 16 years for manslaughter in the 2022 killing of Kevin Williams, following a judge-alone trial in the High Court's Southern District. The verdict was delivered by Justice Antoinette Moore on March 23rd of 2026. Salam had been charged with the murder of Williams, who died after suffering multiple stab wounds during an altercation in Dangriga town on October 8 of 2022. He pleaded not guilty when the matter went to trial in October of 2025. In her judgment, Justice Moore found that the evidence established beyond a reasonable doubt that Salam inflicted the fatal injuries and that there was no lawful justification for the attack. However, the court was not satisfied beyond a reasonable doubt that Salam intended to kill Williams, a necessary element for a murder conviction. Without that element, she convicted him of manslaughter. Salam was represented by attorney Arthur Saldiva, while Javier Chan, assistant DPP, represented the Crown. A Trinidadian national visiting Belize made waves when he appeared on a YouTuber's platform claiming to be in charge of a $125 million project. When he was reported missing weeks later in Trinidad, it certainly raised alarms. He had said he was a procurement specialist in charge of a $125 million project. And that's why when he was reported missing in Trinidad, it raised alarms in Belize. Well, it turns out he wasn't missing after all. This procurement specialist was also a Malpago specialist. Police told us more.
Yes, I can confirm that on 29 May 2026, police formally arrested and charged 47-year-old Rubindra Dale Rampersad, a Trinidadian national, for the offense of making off without payment as a consequence of a report made by a manager of Golden Bay Limited that he had booked their room for a period of, I believe, a month. And from the initial date that he would have booked, he used a credit card, but that credit card gave trouble. And after numerous attempts and communication, that still failed. However, they noted that on 29th May, he had departed, and that information was communicated. And due to liaising with the police officials at the airport, he was intercepted there and subsequently charged for making off without payment, taken before the court, and he is currently remanded at the Belize Central Prison.
A 20-year-old Lester Martinez was killed in an ATV accident last weekend while traveling from Esperanza to Georgeville. Police have since charged the driver who crashed into him. ASP Smith gave us those details today.
As a consequence of the ongoing investigation into the road traffic accident which claimed the life of Thomas Lester Martinez, police have formally arrested and charged Hyman Chen for the crimes of manslaughter by negligence and causing death by careless conduct and the offense of drove motor vehicle without due care and attention.
In Punta Gorda, police arrested and charged a senior citizen for drug trafficking after he attempted to board a bus at the terminal with the drugs in his possession. ASP Stacy Smith explained how police apprehended him.
Police have formally arrested and charged 65-year-old John Gabriel of Jose Maria Nunes Street, Punta Gorda, for the offense of possession of controlled drugs with intent to supply. This arrest follows a search of Mr. Gabriel on Friday, 12 June, as he exited a terminal with a manila envelope. A search of the envelope led to the discovery of 2 transparent plastic bags containing suspected crack cocaine amounting to 57.79 grams.
A couple was also recently charged after police found a firearm in their house in San Pedro. ASP Smith gave us more details on the operation that led to the discovery of the weapon. A family alleges that the GI3 unit constantly harasses them at their home in the Gungulung area. The resident who spoke with us off camera today claimed that the GI3 searches their residence 3 or more times a day. Today, however, they crossed the line when an officer allegedly pulled his weapon in front of her child and fired shots while searching the property behind their house. She gave us more details off camera about what occurred today.
Regardless, they call and no find nobody. Lone female. Uno come na lone male. Uno no lone female there, and they still not bring no W. Then they call, then I have no respect, then I have no manners. You're welcome there in, you help their search, and that's still a problem. They still call ignorant. This morning they call and they say they call look for Demel Saldano. So I say, okay then, I open the gate and I tell her come in because he not there. The man they argue with me that he see her. I say, okay then you see her, come in. I carry in the room there, I carry in the bathroom there, I carry everywhere. He gone around the yard, he come back in the house, I say, I see her. I say, okay then, you do your search, you find her, you see 2 minors here. He suck it teeth, crank the gun in front of my baby and my nephew, gone back and bust shot back there. I say, sir, all of that never needed because you do your search and you find nobody here. You find 2 minors, you find 3 lady here. You no bring no W. We welcome you in here, and not like if we the argue it or the quarrel it for make no come in here. We welcome and that's still a problem. That's crazy.
Did deforestation contribute to all that flooding we saw last week in the South? Well, we'll ask the expert and you'll hear from the chairman of the Integrity Commission. Don't go away.
This newscast is brought to you by Cellular World, your authorized Samsung distributor.
You're up!
These charter means aren't from
We're
an
navigating
airplane.
along the coastline.
This morning,
of
the
northern
2023
lagoon.
Good evening.
Good evening. I'm Sheree Kelso,
And here's what's ahead for you on 7 News Tonight. We've got details of these and other stories in our newscast for tonight. Good evening. With your news, I'm in Craft.
Please, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
Paperworks Entertainment and SJ Promotion presents the official Belizean Jamaican link-up, the Father's Day edition. It's an all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Featuring the international reggae dancehall singing sensation stage boss, Wayne Wonder. To mash up the stage alongside the General Super G for the first time in Belize, Steely Bashman plus Belize's top DJs. Get your general tickets for $60 and VIP for $150 at Madisco, Stone Music Outlet and VIP Wireless. And lock the date for the official Belizean Jamaican link-up all-white day party on Sunday, June 21st at the Belize Airport Authority parking lot, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. Sponsored by
Escape to the reigning spa of the year. Belize's premier wellness experience, where award-winning luxury meets pure tranquility. Book now, 20% off spa treatments, 50% off accommodations, only at Naya Resort and Spa.
As promised, the bridge linking the twin towns of San Ignacio and Santa Elena to 6 vibrant communities in Cayo Northeast is nearing completion. And as promised, the MIDH has done it using the refurbished Hallover Bridge, which once stood over the Hallover Creek and now graces the McCall River. We believe in providing meaningful links and infrastructure which immediately benefits communities, and we believe in value for every dollar spent. This bridge is an investment which will keep on giving for many years to come.
Personally, that bridge got me excited because it comes with a lot of benefits. You know, the first and foremost is that it reduces transportation time, you know, by 15 to 20 minutes. Depends by, you know, we don't want nobody to rush by the bridge, but it definitely, some people are in a 5 or a little bit more minutes, they're gonna reach Santa Elena. So if you, let's say, if you have an emergency, you know, per se, you are rush somebody that Lomalos, that bridge just perfect.
I think that is a great privilege for us that the government is giving us. I believe that it benefits to many of us here in the community. First of all, to our teachers that they travel to come all the way, maybe from Cayo, Santa Elena. It's a more closer way for them to transport to school.
This is a blessing for the whole, well, not just for Santa Familia, but for whole Cayo district. This is going to help us a lot. It's going to bring more people. It's going to be more accessible for people to get to Santa Familia. People that, a lot of people don't know where Santa Familia is located. So I've been talking to a lot of people, they know where. They just go see it on the map, but they don't know exactly. It's going to be very convenient for us.
Wake up to positivity and inspiration. It's a fresh and diverse twist on your mornings. Tune in to Sun Up on 7 every weekday morning at 6:30 a.m. right here on your nation station, Channel 7. It's the morning show you don't want to miss.
Altoona is one of the most visited Mayan city up until lately. The adjacent communities have collaborated together to see how they can get a space here that the wood carvers could actually market and sell their product. Not having the POS machine in the past, we have lose a lot of sales. Atlantic Bank helped supported our business, giving us the opportunity to get the POS machine. Now with the POS machine, we are able to do more sales, and that will, also bring more, finance to our families.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
Nando's Wholesale is the distributor for the full line of Badia spices, including the original complete seasoning, the perfect combination of ingredients and spices prepared to enhance the natural flavor of your favorite foods. Also, cinnamon powder for all your desserts, fruits, and beverages, and as special dishes. All these are available in commercial sizes or restaurant packaging. Nando's products are available at your local retailer or contact us at 222-5000. From Corozal to Toledo, Nando's is proud to be serving Belize as its #1 wholesale distributor for over 35 years.
Belize, you're watching the Nation Station, Channel 7.
We don't ever hear from them, but the Integrity Commission's legal mandate is large. It is tasked with investigating conflicts of interest and ensuring transparency among public officers. Their duties include examining financial declarations of public officers, monitoring compliance, and investigating allegations of corruption. And today, the newly appointed or reappointed members of the commission were sworn in. The chairperson, Andrea McSweeney McCoy, explained more.
The Integrity Commission is charged with ensuring that there is not corruption in public life. Persons in public life would include members of the House of Representatives, the upper and lower houses. And it's a very practical way of getting it done, in which we take their financial declaration at the beginning when they are first appointed to public life, and then every year throughout that time. So an effort is made to gauge what are they earning, what are they acquiring, and so on, and then make inferences and analyses to see whether there may be corruption. Our goal that we've made for the organization is to create a culture of compliance where, one, members of public life actually comply with the law and file their declarations, and secondly, knowing that there is some measure of accountability, that they make decisions that are actually in line with the laws in terms of how they acquire property and how they handle the great trust that they have on them. So it's really grave.
Last week, Thursday, we showed you how the first heavy June rains shredded the coastal road and flooded Hope Creek. While that road was designed to be climate resilient, the disaster risk has increased due to deforestation in the area. According to the chairperson of the Maya Forest Corridor Trust, destroying natural water retention areas leads to increased flooding. Dr. Elma Kay spoke with us via Zoom.
Mother Nature does have natural solutions. And take, for example, the coastal road. That area contains a lot of ecosystems that probably on an everyday basis, we do not take any consideration of, just coming by the Belize Zoo from Belize City. You see these savannas, these wetlands, these seasonally inundated broadleaf forests. So they look like forests, but they're shorter. Every season they're inundated. These are water retention zones. They are Mother Nature's way of controlling those flows of water. And so the more disturbance we have, intensified by these global climate change patterns, then it doesn't really make us resilient. And that's what we're experiencing. So for a country like Belize, where we are not the ones to blame necessarily for global climate change patterns, the only option we have is to be able to build our resilience and to build our adaptive capacity. And we can do that through natural engineering solutions, which are basically our savannas, our wetlands, our seasonally inundated forests, that are the water retention zones that control those flows. We're seeing areas that were typically not targeted because I was watching, some of the news regarding the stuff on the hummingbird that's been happening. And there's a lot of people there that have a history of the area and have said nobody had developed those areas because they are known to be floodplains, areas that hold water during these times. So it's not surprising that if we are bringing down these ecosystems, we are lowering our resilience and our adaptive capacity.
In the case of Mountain View, a relatively new Mennonite community on the Hummingbird Highway, residents faced flooding so severe that they had to be rescued and evacuated. Dr. K explained that farmers are moving on to land masses unsuitable for agriculture, and chances are their main goal is export, not food security.
I would say that, the expansion for these large agricultural areas is now, there is this, lack of large expanses of land. And so they're starting to move in these non-traditional zones that require a lot of drainage. And so you can do agriculture in areas that can be drained, right? So you can engineer your way through that. But then where does the natural water, when it comes, go? And I think what we have to ask ourselves as a nation, because, the argument is repeated over and over that we have to eat, that, these agricultural projects make us food secure. And yes, they have indeed, but currently we have been food secure for a while. Expansion isn't for food security anymore. The expansion is really for export. And I think as a nation, we have to ask ourselves, is that where we can best make our money? And does that type of development pay for the damages that it does to other people? So certain people will benefit from those developments, but where does the extra flood water go? If you're gonna do that type of, intensive pesticide heavy, chemical heavy agriculture, then I think we also have to look at who's paying the cost for the effects downstream of that.
Dr. K also noted that EIA regulations need to be stricter since many perpetrators aren't deterred by the fine. And finally, tonight, we're still following up on that practice we uncovered last week, which is called structuring, breaking down payments from the Treasury in amounts below 10,000 so that they can escape the scrutiny of the Ministry of Finance. We saw it used 494 times over 5 years with Minister of State for Defense, Oscar Mira's sister Jenny, when she received payments from the Ministry of Defense. Last week, Minister of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, Julius Espat, said there are practical uses for it in his ministry, especially when they have to pay for emergency roadworks. He said that without that sub $1,000 discretionary payment, it would be impossible to run the government.
Are you, or does your ministry practice this sub 10,000 disbursement with its suppliers, maybe for good and clear reason, to avoid the red tape of having to go to finance?
Well, the regulation is clear. At certain levels, you have to report to certain people. What you try to do is you have layers. For example, a trucker needs something, he has to come in by certain departments, and it has to be approved up the departments before it reaches the CEO. And so we try to be as equitable as we can with it, but it does happen, no doubt. If it doesn't happen, Jules, government shuts down, especially a ministry like us.
Do you all in MIDH have a pattern like this? It's called structuring or smurfing. They call it smurfing, to where you break down payments so that I could pay you 20,000, but in 4 payments of 5,000 that can pass below the radar. Is it something that your ministry does?
We haven't seen the need to do it, Judge. If there's one or two, for whatever reason, I haven't seen it. But I'm telling you that our small payments are mostly for truckers. The large majority is the hauling of material. And then another payment would be some of the rental of equipment that you would have to do.
And with that, we end our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indra Craig. Remember, you can find a full transcript of the news at 7newsbelize.com and see the streaming video on our Facebook page. Have a great evening. Join me back here tomorrow at 6.